Hello, YouTubers. How are you? Hope you're doing well. I thought I would talk about motivation since a lot of people try to move ahead in their life goals, but sometimes they lack motivation to finish or get to their end goal. Now, when I started YouTube like a couple of years ago, I started it, but then I had to step away from it because I had some family matters that came up. If you got to view the video, poetry storytelling, you'll know all about that background. And I was in a little bit of a really depressed state, moment of time in my life. But that's how I came up with that poem. And after that, I kind of tried to motivate myself every day to think about where I came from. As in, you always want to, I always want to try to compete with myself. I don't want to try to compete with anybody else. My own style. And I think you should be real to yourself, authentic to yourself, and try to dig deep down inside and pull that out. And it may take some time. And even if though people are telling you negativity, you can't do it, it can't happen, it won't work, try not to deal with those people and try to be around the people that uplift you and give you positive feedback and say, go for it, do it, do it, do it. Because when you get older, you don't want to say, I have regrets that I didn't do this in my life. And what I do and what you should do is have a little card with a saying on it or a picture of your goal in life and post it somewhere you can see it every morning when you wake up and every night before you go to bed, near your bed or somewhere where you could see it. Something that's a goal for you that you want to accomplish in your life. And you'll say, I'm going to do this today. Even if you work on it for 20 minutes, a half hour, then you can build it up every day. You look at yesterday and say, well, I worked on it for 20 minutes. I worked on that for a half hour. This is going to motivate you, push you forward. At least you're going forward. As long as you're working on what you want to do, your goal in life, that's going to bring you motivation. I didn't really want to do these videos. It was kind of awkward for me talking to a screen, but, and that was a little bit of the fear, but you have to go over the fear and get over that. And once you get over that, you're going to have a positive result. And, I've met some nice people, and you just have to think positive, be positive, and always motivate yourself. Either you're taking a class, you want to learn how to do the flamingo dance, you want to further your education, you're going to learn how to ski. Whatever the goal in life you want to do to complete, you just got to motivate yourself. You just got to do it. I'd be sitting there for the longest time thinking, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Well, you just got to go out and do it. Like so many mentors have said, you have to do the work. You have to put in the time. You have to do the work. Even if you have a busy life, if you want to be happy and you want to think of your well-being and your goals in life, something that you want to accomplish in your life, whatever that is, you can't let somebody else do it for you. You have to do it. And I think you have to be honest with yourself and you have to just motivate yourself every day to take the baby steps, pushing yourself further and further towards your goal. That's what I've done. I've tried to do. I look at 3 years ago, wow, all the things I've done since then, since that horrible time in my life with Woman in the Blues. But wow, you guys really like that poem, and I'm so glad that I created that video, and that was motivation to keep going, to keep posting videos. And that little logo that I made. Somebody said you should have a logo when you're an artist. Well, I thought about it and I came up with my logo, Cooch Pop Art. And I just added the art. So I came up with Cooch Pop Art, if that's what you were wondering about. But I did the logo and I came up with the logo. And I was so proud of that. It took me so long. And a lot of people have already done theirs like a long, long time ago before they even posted. So, sometimes it takes a while to get going. But once you do it, you give yourself a pat on the back and say, I did it. You know, I accomplished that little thing that can push you further and further towards your goal. And that's what I want to do. I just want to, keep creating, keep pushing myself to do better. I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm not in competition with you, and I'm not in competition with anybody else out there. I'm in competition with me, who I was yesterday, who I was the year before. That's who I want to beat or just get, a little bit ahead of. I want to be better than I was yesterday, you know? And so, you have to ignore the naysayers and the negative people in your life. And you just have to keep motivating yourself to keep going. And I have a lot of idols out there that I've idolized forever: singers, performers, musicians, artists. And they've given me a lot of inspiration and motivation. But you have to motivate yourself if you want to do anything. So just keep it up. Don't let anybody tell you, that you can't do something, you can't be something. You just motivate yourself. Just do it. Take the baby steps. It'll be worth it in the long run. Believe me, when you get older, you're going to be happy that you did. And it's all about your well being. Be true to yourself. Do what you want to do. Go. Just do it. Motivate it. Get it going. This is Karen, Cooch Pop Art. Talk later. Best wishes.